loco, loco. Hello! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. One, because I've been gone for a really long time. I tried vlogging when I was in New York for a vacation, and I only vlogged one day. You see, what had happened was we didn't have the kids. We were in New York City and we wanted to drink. And drinking was a little bit too much, basically for 5 days, so I didn't get any footage. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I tried. I brought my camera, so I tried. You know, shit happens. Anyways, I picked up some new makeup products and I'm going to be testing some of those out in the video. Today's video is going to be two eye looks. Using the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. Where is that palette? So it's gonna be two looks using the Anastasia Soft Glam palette. I was super excited to pick up this palette. If you guys have been in my channel since I started, you guys know how real the obsession was with the Modern Renaissance palette that they came out with. It is still to this day my all-time favorite palette. So when I saw this one right here, I literally died. I died, okay? They came out with Subculture and like the Prism palette and all those crazy looking palettes, and honestly, I was kind of like intrigued and I was gonna purchase them, and then I was like, okay, let me not do it just for a video because I know I'm gonna use it one time and I'm just gonna put it to the side. Because let's be real, I don't get set makeup, so if I buy makeup here, I want to use it, you know? So it kills me to buy a palette or, like, I guess you could say it's expensive makeup, and then I only use it for one video and one tutorial, and then I put it to the side and I know I'm never going to touch it again. So I didn't want to buy the Subculture and the Prism palette just for that reason. But when this bad boy came out, when this one came out, I was like, yo, like, for real, this is the perfect everyday on the go traveling makeup lover, non-makeup lover. Like, this is the only palette that you need. That's how good this palette is, as in like looking at it, but in using it today, it was so freaking creamy and buttery. It's unreal how good this palette is, and the colors are just to die for. So I based two looks off of this palette. One pretty smoky, even though I would think this is like an everyday look for me. It is dramatic and smoky, but when you soften it up with the lips, it's just so pretty. So I love this look. And then the other look I came up with is a gold bronzy smoky eye. I hope you guys enjoyed those two looks. And another product I picked up is this DIOR Skin Forever foundation. This one, I went to Ulta and I remember Jaclyn Hill always talking about this foundation, how it made her skin look flawless. I'm not going to give you my thoughts on this right now because I think I want to do a wear test video on this foundation. It is so, I'm not even going to say it, but you know. Anyways, so I want to do a wear test foundation routine on this. Let me know if you guys are interested in seeing that so I can get that up for you guys soon. I'm like all over the place in this intro. Oh, so do you guys notice my straight hair today? This is like hanging on by a thread. So I picked up this new Bellamy faux wrap ponytail because, you know, some days I am just wanting to have straight hair, and since I'm gonna go all year without straightening my hair, I felt like that was such a good alternative, especially if I'm gonna be like a guest at a wedding or something like that and I want to look a little bit more dressy and fancy. Since my hair is about right here right now and it's obviously curly, I wanted to pick up the fake ponytail extension. So I ordered it in dark brown, and I guess I didn't realize how dark my hair was. So when I got it in, it was like a red brown, but still dark, so it wasn't my color. So I still wanted to wear straight hair for this video, so I took all my extensions and I basically like clamped them together and somehow just stuck them into my head, and this is the result we got. But if I was to zoom you guys in and you guys to really see what my ponytail looks like, you guys would crack up because it is so ghetto-fied. But anyways, I will stop rambling. I hope you guys enjoy this two looks in one kind of video. Let me know if you guys want to see that DIOR Skin foundation routine. And that's about it. Let's just jump right into the video. And if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that little button down below before you go. Follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, and Snap. Honestly, I'm kind of getting off of Snap because I feel like the whole update they did was a pain in the ass, so I kind of transferred over to Instagram. But yeah, that's basically it, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys. Alright guys, starting off with our first look, we're going to jump into the color Sienna. This, you're going to use a big fluffy blending brush, and you want to take a really light amount of this color. This is a very pigmented color, so if you dip into this very intensely, you're gonna get a very intense color payoff. But with this, you just really want to work slowly, building up that color, always using a light hand. And this is a Sigma E25 blending brush. You're just going to be working this in circular motions from outer corner all the way into inner corner. Once we are done blending that out, we're going to jump back into the palette and pick up the color Orange Soda with the exact same blending brush I was just doing. You're going to place this above Sienna. This color is really just there just to buff everything out without having to drag that Sienna color a little bit too far up, which is why we're using that Orange Soda, just to kind of give it a gradient effect. Now we're going to go back into Sienna with a more tighter, fluffy blending brush. I forgot which one this is. This is from the Morphe Rose Gold collection. And you're just going to really begin to intensify that Sienna color. So you're doing the exact same thing we were just doing from outer corner into the inner corner, just picking up a little bit more product. As you can see, this color is very intense. You want to pick up a small amount and just slowly build it up. Then going back into that Sigma E25 with Orange Soda once again and just buffing everything out, just making sure we don't have any harsh lines. So now going into the color Mulberry. You're going to take the exact same brush we were just using, the tighter, fluffier blending brush, and you're going to begin to work this on top of Sienna from outer corner into the inner corner. As you can tell, we're just kind of going slowly with these colors, lightly building it up. This is going to be a very dark, smoky eye, and you want to work these colors into the crease so you don't look like you have a black eye later, which is why we're working slowly and kind of giving your crease a gradient effect. So you want to work slowly when you get into that inner corner, because if you go a little bit too intense in that inner corner, that's when you're really going to get the black eye, kind of panda looking eye effect. So then going back into that Sigma E25 and just blending out all those edges. As you can tell, this eye look is very kind of tedious and redundant. It just takes a little bit of time just to sit there and really blend out those colors. You can honestly use this technique with any kind of eye color that you want. I'm just going to go for a brown smoky eye today. So now taking Cypress Umber from that palette with a flat shader brush, you're going to begin to pack this all over the lid. This is a really intense color. Most browns like this, you would need to lay down a base first, but this color is super pigmented. Honestly, all the colors in this palette is really pigmented. This palette is just so amazing. It's like another Anastasia Modern Renaissance. But once we're done packing this in, you're going to go back into those two brushes, blend out those edges, and then moving on to the next eye. Same thing, just go ahead and pack this all over the lid. Once we're done packing this all over the lid, you're going to take that second blending brush and buff out that crease and blending the brown in to those Sienna and Mulberry colors, then going in with the E25 and buffing out those edges. And that's basically it for the eye look. So we're going to go in with some makeup wipes and really clean everything up, and then going into the highlighter shades in this palette. I went a little bit too far up close to my brows, so this is a great technique for if you ever do the same thing. I just went into the creamy matte shade and I just put it underneath my brow bone, and with my fingers just kind of buffed it out and blended it out, kind of dragging everything down. It just really cleans up the whole look. So now going into Rose Pink, I wanted to go into a different color for the inner corner highlight, which is why I chose Rose Pink. So I just used this to highlight my inner corners, and I thought it brought such a girly, feminine kind of look. Now going into the color Fairy, guys, this highlighter color is so pretty. I placed this on the top of my brow bones, but later on in the different look, I used it in my inner corner, and it was so pretty. So moving on, I did my eyebrows off camera, and now moving on to lips. I was sent this by Lala Daisy Beauty. You guys have heard me talk about them before. This is their Grand Lips Hydrating Lip Plumper. So I'm going into the creamy nude shade, which kind of didn't have a color at all, just to really plump up my lips and hydrate them for later on in the video when I go in with a matte liquid lipstick. And now for gel eyeliner, I'm going to go into this Color Science Gel Pot Eyeliner. Lala Daisy also sent this to me, and I wanted to test it out in this video, and it honestly worked really well. We're basically not going to do a wing. I'm just kind of lining my lower lash line just to make it blend in better together whenever I put my lashes on, because I'm going to go in with Intense Lashes. These are Intoxicating by Flutter Lashes. You guys know these are my fave. So then now moving on to the face. I'm not going to do a very intense face routine with you guys. I'm kind of going to go through this really quickly. I'm going in with the Smashbox Pore Primerizer primer, and then once I'm done smoothing that out all over my face, I'm going to go into this DIOR Skin Forever foundation. I want to do a wear test foundation on this foundation in a different video, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm kind of just going to let it speak for itself once I place everything on here, which is why I'm not going into a full foundation routine with you guys. I'm going to lightly just skim over everything so I can do this exact routine in my next video. So once we're done with that, I'm going to go into the Tarte Shape Tape concealer in medium, place that underneath my eyes, my forehead, my chin, my cupid's bow, and down the bridge of my nose. Once I am done blending that out, which I'm not going to show in this video, I'm going to go in with a powder and kind of just blend everything or buff everything away, just setting my entire face. And then moving on to bronzer, I went in with the NYX bronzer and just lightly bronzed up my face in the areas that you would normally bronze and contour. I honestly love using this bigger, fluffier brush. I got this technique from Jacqueline's latest video and I wanted to test it out and it was so good. So now going into this Glow Minerals blush in Papaya, I am using a fan brush for this, just lightly dusting over the apples of my cheeks. And then moving on to highlight, I use the Anastasia Sugar Glow Kit in the color Starburst. And I went ahead and applied this with my fingers because I said this in another video. This is one of my favorite ways to apply highlight lately. It just makes it look very soft and natural, but still a little bit intense and doesn't intensify any texture. So now taking the color Sienna, I am buffing this back and forth underneath my lower lash line. And once I am done really buffing all that out, I'm going to take the color Sultry and I'm going to take a different pencil brush and just put this underneath directly all the way across my lower lash line. I wanted to bring a little bit more life and more color to this eye look. I know you really can't tell, but in person you definitely could. So now taking this BLINC mascara, I am using this for my lower lash line and then taking it into the base of my lashes and just kind of blending my lashes with the fake lashes together. And now moving on to lips, I am using MAC Cork lip liner, lining my entire lips with this because I'm going to go in with a super nude lipstick, and I'm taking the color Dose of Colors No Shade by Desi and Katie and applying this to my entire lip, and that basically completes look number 1. I am so obsessed with this look. I just feel like it looks so girly and feminine, but still so like sexy and sultry. I know that sounds really like crazy, but I'm just so obsessed with this. I would wear this look so many times again. So now moving on to look number 2, I'm going to go into this little incy tiny baby Urban Decay primer potion, and I honestly thought this had more color to it. I thought it was going to be like a kind of like a concealer eyelid primer, and it totally was not, which caught me by surprise. So I totally did not end up liking this primer. If you guys use this before and know how to use it, let your girl know down below. But in the meantime, I went ahead with some concealer, set it, and moved on. Don't you guys hate when these eyeshadow palettes come with these like dumb brushes? It might just be me, but I just don't like the brushes they come with. So now going in with the Sigma E40, I've been calling it E25 this entire time, and it totally is an E40. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to take the color Orange Soda and just buff this back and forth into the crease. This is a very light transition color, so you can totally build this color up as intense as you want. It definitely looks like an orange soda look, and I'm so obsessed with this transition color. It is so pretty. So then moving on, I am going to take the color Rustic in this palette with that same Morphe M433, and we're going to keep this into the outer V, just buffing it into the outer V and really blending it out. You want to drag this a little further out towards your temple. We'll go in later and clean this up with a makeup brush. It just helps you be a little bit more sloppy and then clean it up with the makeup wipe, if that makes any kind of sense. Then you're going to go back in with that orange soda and just buff out those edges. This eye look is going to be another redundant eye look. So then now going into the color Sienna, I am using a Sigma E25 now, the real E25, please stand up. I'm going to be placing this exactly where the other color was, Rustic, into that outer V and just being a little bit sloppy with it, because once we switch brushes back into that Morphe M433, we can really blend it out. Then the E25 is kind of just placing the color, whereas the Morphe M433 is really doing all the work blending it out. As you can see, I'm dragging it really far out towards the temple, but the makeup wipe will clean that up later. It's just helping me blend everything out together and just buffing out all those rough edges. Once I am done really buffing that out, I'm going to switch back into that Sigma E40 with that color Orange Soda and just really blend out all those rough edges a little bit more, just making everything a lot more gradient and a lot more smooth than being so harsh and intense. So then moving on to our lid color, I am using the color Bronze. If you swatch this color on your finger, you're like, holy crap, this is the most gorgeous color ever. But then once you transfer over to a flat shader brush, it goes on a little bit too soft for my liking. When I swatched it with my finger, I was like, yes, give it to me glitter, bronze, gold. And then when I put this on my eye with a brush, I was like, wait, where is it? So I'm assuming this is a color you have to use wet. So I wanted to try it with my finger. It still wasn't giving me what I wanted. So then I went ahead and I wet this, and then there I got a little bit more than what I wanted, but still not exactly how it swatched on the finger. But that's okay because I'm going to go in with some glitter later on anyways. So then moving on back to the color Mulberry, I'm using that Sigma E25 but a different clean one, and I'm doing the outer corner again in the outer V, just really buffing it out and blending it, making everything seem very seamless and not so harsh. And I'm blending it all together using that Morphe M433. As you guys can see, this eye look is being a little bit tedious again, going back in with all the same colors. So now I'm going to take the color Noir, which is just basically a matte black, a very intense, and I'm using a very small pencil brush for this and just really outlining that outer V, buffing it out as much as I can with that little pencil brush, and then switching back into that Morphe or Sigma E25. Jesus, I'm getting a tongue twister. Oh my god, guys, I just realized how crazy I look in this video with this crazy nappy-headed bird's nest of a hair. I am so sorry that I came on camera looking this crazy. But now moving on to MAC Reflex Gold Glitter, my camera actually cut off, and I am so sorry that you weren't able to see it. But basically, I just placed that on top of the bronze, and it really gave me that glittery effect that I wanted. And then going in with Maybelline Blackest Black Gel Liner, I went ahead and tried to do a wing on camera, and I couldn't, so I just gave up, and then here we are. So then now moving on to brows, I went ahead and I used Anastasia Soft Brown Powder Duo, and I just went ahead and kind of feathered my brows in. I was feeling a little bit lazy, and since I just got them threaded, I felt like they kind of looked clean enough that I didn't really need to do too much to them. So I just went ahead and I used the powder and then combed them out, and then use a little bit of brow gel to really just set them in place. And then now moving on to our lower lash line, or I'm sorry, our inner corners, I'm using that color Fairy that I told you about earlier, and look how pretty this is as an inner corner highlight. It is so gorgeous. So then now going into our lower lash line, I am using the color Rustic in Sienna with the pencil brush and just buffing that back and forth underneath my lower lash line. We're not going to do too much underneath the lower lash line, just using this color and then going into the color Cypress Umber and just really tight lining that lower lash line. And that basically completes the eye look, because we're just going to apply some mascara now to the lower lash line, the top, add some lashes, and then we're going to move on to lips. I honestly love the way this eye look came out once I placed the glitter. I don't think it's that color Bronze is a bad color. I just think I was expecting a lot more of it than what I got, which is why I was left kind of like, you know what I mean? So that's why I added some glitter. But now moving on to lips, I use MAC Cork lip liner. Duh, I use this for like every lip. And then I'm going to go into Anastasia Vamp. And that completes the look. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2 looks for 1 palette video. Let me know what you guys want to see next. If you guys want to see that DIOR Skin Forever foundation wear test, or if you guys have any other ideas, I am so happy to be back, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.